So there is a new account online that I don't know if it's serious or if it's a joke. Regardless, it's awesome in the most hilarious way. Let me just show you exactly what it is. Joe Biden. It's time to settle. Settle for joebiden.org. Now, let me just, before I get to some of my thoughts on this, let me read what they claim to be. I got no reason to doubt them here, but says it's time to settle. Settle for Biden is a grassroots group of former Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders supporters who recognize Joe Biden's flaws, but know that our nation will not survive 4 more years of Donald Trump. This is maybe the most honest way to phrase support for Joe Biden. So while it is funny and while it seems like a joke, I mean, yeah. I mean, this is basically the argument. They're just not going to say that. The campaign itself isn't going to say that. But this is basically the argument for Joe Biden. Though I have a better argument, I think, which I will get to in a minute. But here it says Biden isn't fantastic, but Trump is far, far worse. If Biden wasn't your first choice this primary season, but you'll do anything to get Trump out of office, settle for Biden is for you. Join us in our mission to begrudgingly put Joe in the White House. I like how they what I get from this group is that they know they're being funny, but I also think they're serious. I think they're like it's kind of tongue in cheek. I mean, you will see the tweets. Some of them are just absolutely hilarious. Let me show you this one. This one had me rolling. Right before you vote for Joe, and look at the GIF. I mean, it's the perfect combination of humor and the best argument for Joe Biden. And they're, I mean, I can really just, I haven't read all these tweets, but I could just scroll through these and we could probably find some good ones. Donald Trump's threatening our nation and our values when he tries to postpone the election. Don't let him. I talked about that earlier. He can't postpone the election, but yeah. Here, this is a funny one. Unappetizing, but still edible. Yeah, that's about right. This is hilarious. And of course, they also have a Instagram account. I think The Rising, I guess, talked about them this morning. That's why that's here. But hey, look, they were supporting Ed Markey. There you go. Ed Markey over Joe Kennedy in Massachusetts. Support Markey in Massachusetts. But let's see what this is. The difference between Joe Biden and Donald Trump is the same as the difference between sunrise and sunset. Okay. I don't know some of these. Lives are at stake this November. Vote like it. So, look, this is the argument. Now, my argument, I would say, is a little better than settle for Biden. The way I look at this election is you're not really voting for somebody. When you have two options this bad, you're simply voting for the fight that you want to have. Do you want to fight? Do you want to continue fighting Donald Trump, who is just locking up protesters, who clearly there is nobody even near the White House that even wants to expand, or lower the age to Medicare, let alone have Medicare for all? Or do you want to fight Joe Biden, a Democratic Party that is historically weak? You can absolutely win, at the very least, the ideological battle against a Biden administration. Look, I'm not saying you're going to get any wins, and you may get no good wins. But the point here being that with Trump, you have neo-fascism. With Joe Biden, you're able to make the argument. And the thing with Joe Biden that is different from Barack Obama, because people will make the argument, and I think it's fair to think this without analyzing it, it's fair to think, hey, after Obama won, people kind of went to sleep. And it wasn't until Occupy in 2011 that there was finally some kind of protest or movement on the ground that was recognizing that Obama wasn't who he said he was. But that came really late. With Joe Biden, we all know from the very beginning that he's not fighting for the average person. Meaning, it's a lot easier to build a movement against a Biden White House from the very beginning than it was against Barack Obama. With Biden, you know exactly what you're getting. With Obama, he fooled enough people with his grandiose speeches. He was a great politician in that sense, that he was able to kind of put a lot of people to sleep, quell a lot of anger, suppress a lot of potential political action because of Obama's ability to give a great speech and make it sound like he was fighting for the average person. Biden doesn't have that skill. And we also know, based on his record, exactly who he is. So you're able to build a fight against Joe Biden in a way that you couldn't from the start with Barack Obama. And really, here you're picking the person you want to fight. I rather fight Joe Biden. And I got to say, somebody, at least in my position as well as a commentator, I am dying for 4 years of Democrats in power. That is the fight that I want to have. Those are the people that I want to go after. Because I can attack Trump all day. It's not going to do a dent. It's not going to make a difference at all. Because it's Donald Trump. It's neo-fascism. I have no foothold there. When it comes to Democrats, the Democratic voters know that Biden isn't good enough. You look at polling on policy issues. Look at Medicare for All. It polls 90% with Democratic voters. Those people aren't just going to all go to sleep when Biden wins. No, they want to see improvements. They will demand improvements. So if you have from the start, protests on Washington fighting for, specific policy issues like Medicare for All, even if you don't get that, and again, I'm not trying to say you're going to get that, but you are able to challenge that energy into something and create a mass movement of people fighting against an administration that is not simply going to throw them all in jail and, tear gas the entire crowd. It's Biden. Look, you can have a million criticisms, but the end goal for a Biden administration is not fascism. But for Trump, that is the end goal. So knowing those two options, knowing the end goal of both, one is simply easier to fight than the other.